Okay, thank you and welcome back. We're returning to item 3 on the agenda, which is a variation in private hire car operators licence. Ms McCready, can you just confirm you can hear me okay?
I can hear you fine, thanks.
Thanks. I'll just ask Douglas Campbell to introduce the item. Douglas?
Thanks, Convener. Just to confirm, Mr. Aitken, you've been asked to come to the board because you've made an application to vary, in other words, change the terms of your licence to allow your vehicle to operate for a further period. I think on your application form you actually only asked for 6 months.
Douglas, just interrupted. Mr. McCready.
Sorry, so my apologies, Convener. Of course, Mr. McCready, in terms of Mr. Aitken's application, sorry, a period of 6 months was asked for. I think the position is, Mr. McCready, the vehicle is yours, and on that basis, you have, you're obviously here today to address the board in Mr. Aitken's place. Do you understand the procedure, Mr. McCready? Are there any preliminary issues you want to raise at this stage?
Yeah, I understand what we're here for, yeah.
Thanks. Just to say, Convener, on the application form, only 6 months was requested by Mr. Aitken. Obviously, the board has considered previous applications where, 12-month period has been requested, has been granted. I can confirm that it would be open to the board to consider, varying for a different period if you see fit. The board has a broad discretion on variation applications. There is also just one slight issue I should clarify for the benefit of members in the citation letter. It actually refers to taxi. It should be private hire, obviously.
Okay, thank you, Douglas. Just before I bring Mr. McCready in support, I'll just say to members that we have extended for a 12-month period. My inclination is to keep it standardised and rather than go into different periods, but we can, once we determine this, we can take a decision on that. Mr. McCready, would you like to address the board in support of this application?
Yeah, thank you. The main reason it was brought to my attention by Stephen that there was an opportunity to have a 6 months extension, and obviously my car is in very good condition, and obviously the COVID, the car's bought and paid for now, so obviously financially it's better for myself and my family because I'm not paying for a car, I'm not having to go out and buy another car. So when I heard that there was an extension, the fact you've mentioned 12 months here, I wasn't even aware of that, but the fact that it was a 6 month extension available, I applied for that because obviously it would help my family situation because the car is still in very good condition, and if I could get that, it means I'm not having to go out and buy another car and incur the costs.
Okay, thanks, Mr. McCready. I mean, as I mentioned, the board, where it has decided to grant an extension, has standardised on a 12-month extension, usually from the date of the expiry, and also to require a 3-monthly inspection in between times. Councillor Mackay.
Hello, Mr. McCready. In the last year, has your vehicle failed an MOT test at all?
Never, no. Never. It's not failed an MOT or a council test either.
All right, okay. You're quite sure about that? On the 8th of June?
On the 8th of June?
Yes.
I don't know what you're saying to me.
I was just wondering if it had failed an MOT test on the 8th of June this year.
It has not failed an MOT test, no.
All right, okay, thank you.
You're talking about an official government MOT test?
Yes.
I have not failed, no.
Okay, thank you.
I can show you the certificates I've got or the certification. I haven't failed an MOT test.
All right.
Okay, I'm sure Mr. McCready is aware that that's a public accessible situation. Okay, I don't see any further questions. All I would say to Mr. McCready is, do you understand that if the board is minded to grant an extension, that we would require a 3-month inspection at the council's taxi depot? Do you understand that,
Yeah, absolutely.
Quite happy with that. Okay. Mr. McCready, is there anything further you want to add and support?
No, not at all. It's just when would I find out going forward, like, where we're at?
Well, if you just bear with us, then
Oh, sorry.
we're about to move to a decision on it. And in view of all the circumstances, in this case, I would move that we grant a 12-month extension from the expiry date of the anniversary, and that it's subject to the 3 monthly inspections, the first of which should take place within 28 days. Douglas, oh sorry, the members agreed to that?
Agreed.
That seems to be unanimous. Douglas?
Thanks. Just to confirm the position, Mr. McCready, Mr. Aitken's licence will be varied to allow the existing vehicle to remain on the licence for another year from the 31st of July 2021. So basically, to the end of July next year, that'll be that being the date of the anniversary is referred to the convener. The convener has also indicated that there will be a requirement as a licence condition, which will be to have the vehicle tested on a 3-monthly basis rather than on a 6-monthly basis. So basically 4 tests a year rather than 2. And obviously the board has granted you a longer period. The first test or the next test is to take place within 28 days from today's date. So the vehicle will be required to be tested in accordance with that, which will also be a condition of licence. And that concludes the hearing for today, Mr. McCready.
Thank you very much for taking all that into account. I really appreciate that. Thanks very much.
Okay, thanks, Mr. McCready. You can leave the meeting now.
Thank you.
And could we stop the recording, Paul?